Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my battle for Week 10 of the Pokemon Premier League Division 1 Season 4. This week we are playing Unlawful Exile, also known as Liam and his West Shan United. So, if you guys missed it, make sure you check out the team builder that went up yesterday, and to fully explain the team that I'm bringing. And as you can see, we are on Showdown. Liam was unable to find himself a Jenner, so we went to Showdown, and I'm cool with that. And yeah, you can see this little team matchup here, everything that he brought, everything I brought, all that good stuff. Make sure you go check out Liam, all the good stuff. And I don't really have too much more to say for a little rambly intro stuff, so let's start talking about the team. Just a quick overview of what I do have. I have 3 physically defensive mons, the first 3 you see, a Mega Steelix, a Reuniclus, and a Tentacruel. All physically defensive. Reuniclus is Trick Room, Recover, Psychic, and Energy Ball. Tentacruel is pretty standard, like Rabbit Spin, Scald, Sludge Bomb, and like Giga Drain. And Mega Steelix is like the thing I always bring: Stealth Rock, Dragon Tail, Earthquake, Heavy Slam. Then I have 2 Scarfers in Tyranitar and Druddigon. They both have Aqua Tail. T-Tar also has Crunch, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. And Druddigon has Sucker Punch, Dragon Claw, and Outrage, as well as that Aqua Tail. Aforementioned also with Aqua Tail is Scolipede. It's a Focus Sash Scolipede with Protect and Sword Stance, Mega Horn, and Aqua Tail. So, I liked the team that I had, but as you can see, Liam has a very spooky team, and he brought a lot of spooky stuff. Now, I didn't need to worry as much about the speed control because I didn't see Whimsicott, which is really cool. But what I do see is an Infernape, a Mega Aerodactyl, a Kyurem Black, a Uxie, a Mamoswine, and a Blastoise. So, this is, you know, kind of troublesome, but kind of like, alright, we can deal with this. We can work with that. And, yeah, so, I'm most scared of Kyurem Black as well as Mamoswine. I have pretty solid answers to everything else. I know Uxie can be pretty annoying to bring down also, and if Tentacruel gets worn down too much, I do become a little bit worried about Infernape as well. So, that's kind of my main things to start the battle. I wanted to try and figure out what was like the worst possible scenario, and I did kind of take a risk because I figured that his most likely lead would possibly be Uxie to get up Stealth Rocks, could be Mamoswine, and then it could be Infernape. And I was just really dead set on Uxie being the lead, so I actually decided to lead Tyranitar. So let's go ahead and start the battle so you can see it, and I will pause and explain as needed. But he does start out with the Infernape, and I'm just like, well, the good thing about this is I do get the Sand Up, so that's like not too terrible. He U-turns, gets a crit, which at that point I'm like, that's a good sign of things to come, I'm sure. And he goes right into Mamoswine, which is going to force me to switch out again, and he's in his Mamoswine, which is not going to take sand damage, well, everything that I have is, except for this Reuniclus, because Magic Guard. Earthquake only has 39%, meaning that this is not super offensive, or like it might be like a Jolly Scarf or something like that, but it's not Scarfed. He goes for knockoff. I lose my leftovers, which sucks, but I can kind of just recover forever, which is kind of what I do because I want Reuniclus to be with a lot of health. So we're on turn 5, and I have yet to attack him. But he sends in his Mega Aerodactyl. My switch into that is the Mega Steelix. He goes for the Crunch, 18%, not going to do a whole lot. So finally, I believe I am going to be able... No, I don't attack. I actually get up my Stealth Rocks this turn, because Stealth Rocks are good, and because I'm not doing a lot of attacking, hopefully I can start getting him some damage as he, you know, does stuff. But he's going to get up his own rocks as I just switch straight into Tyranitar. I can get a big Crunch off, which I do, but he has the Colbur Berry, meaning that it's not a big Crunch, it's just a little Crunch. And he T-Waves me, which really sucks because I am Choice Scarfed. Really, really unfortunate, but T-Tar is looking like once Uxie goes down, it's not going to have a whole lot of uses. But, alright, so he goes into Blastoise, takes a big crunch. He's going to be able to get a Rapid Spin off. I knew he was going to go for Rapid Spin, but I can take this opportunity and get the kill. And Blastoise is going to go down. That is going to be his hazard removal out. And if I can get Mega Steelix back in, I can get Rocks back up, and we're still looking at not too bad. Speaking of Rocks, I'm trying to get them off my side of the field, so I switch in, hoping he doesn't U-turn, but he does. And he goes back into his Mega Aerodactyl, and we're kind of going in a circle here. Thankfully, in the last circle, I killed one of his Mons, so if we can just keep that going, that would be great. But I go back into Mega Steelix as he has his Mega Aerodactyl. I knew Earthquake wasn't going to do that much, so I am free to get up Stealth Rocks here because, yeah. Because he cannot get rid of them now, and he goes for Earth Power and kills me. That does not tell me much, and I'm going to pause it here really quick. That doesn't tell me much because, 0 special attack, like, not invested, or, like, not special attack increasing nature, Earth Power would still have killed me. Like, minimum roll is like 50%, so, that doesn't really tell me much. It doesn't tell me if he's a fully special attacker, it doesn't tell me if he's mixed, it doesn't tell me anything. It tells me he's not life orbed. That's about it. So I basically have two options here, and that is to go into Druddigon, which is meant to be scarfed to outspeed this and be able to take it out. That's the plan, but if I bring it in right now, I may tip off the fact that I'm scarfed, and I may just completely ruin the surprise, and then I don't really get to do much. Or I could go into Reuniclus, which can take the Earth Power, and it could deal with any sort of... it would be able to live any one hit if he was, like, just some sort of regular special attack thing. Like, you know, if he's just, like, leftovers or something, Reuniclus could be able to deal with it. However, Reuniclus does not deal well if it is some sort of mixed set, as well as I still want it healthy for other things, namely the Mamoswine. So I feel like I have no choice here but to go into Druddigon and hope for the best, and that is what I do. And actually, I'm gonna just go to this point to where I send him out, and at this point, this is actually a good thing for me, which was one of the things I didn't really factor in until I'm in. But basically, well, no, I did think about this. If the Kyurem Black is scarfed, it's scarfed into Earth Power, which is not going to do that much to Druddigon, and then I can get a kill. If I go for Outrage, which I'm planning on, because he didn't bring his Fairy, and he doesn't really have much that wants to take it. Also, my Scarfed Druddigon will outspeed the Mamoswine, the Uxie, and the Kyurem Black, assuming it's not Scarfed. And if that happens, I get off an Outrage, and then I can get off a second one. So if he wants to try and switch into it, like, basically everything dies to 2 Outrages. Mega Aerodactyl and Infernape could possibly outspeed the Scarfed Druddigon, given they have enough speed investment, but they cannot take out Druddigon in one hit from where I'm at. So he either sacks off Kyurem Black, like to me, or he switches into something, which essentially takes 2 Outrages, possibly 1, and I get the kill. So Druddigon kills something here, and I'm hoping that it's the Kyurem Black. But let's go ahead and find out. He does stay in. We go for the Outrage, 100% to 0%, right like that. Druddigon gets his first kill of the season. He sends out Uxie, and I'm just like, ooh, can an Outrage take it out? I didn't bother calculating because I'm stuck into it, and we do not take it out, and we do get confused. If we didn't get confused, we would have been able to just do that. I didn't want to go for another Outrage while I was confused, and I thought maybe I could at least get off one later. He went for Psychic as I went into T-Tar, but yeah. He gets off some damage. He's basically just letting me kill Uxie here because it doesn't have much use. I go for the Aqua Tail just in case he does go into anything else. Also, I am still choiced. I'm still choice scarfed, and so if he tries to overpredict, like right here, if he would go for a knockoff, expecting me to switch into something else, or I think depending on what this Mamoswine was, there may have been a slight chance if he low rolls that I could live an Earthquake. I don't remember, but on the off chance that he attacks me and doesn't kill me, now I'm choiced into Aqua Tail, which the rest of his team is weak to, so that's why I went for Aqua Tail there. But as you'll see, Mamoswine goes for Earthquake, and I go down. So T-Tar's down, but he did get 2 kills, so that's good. And then I go into Reuniclus, my only thing that can take on Mamoswine, and I believe I go for a Trick Room here. Yes, I do. So now I'm faster than his entire team. I go for Psychic. That does 27%. That tells me that this is a specially defensive Mega Aerodactyl. And then he reveals Pursuit. So that's fun. So now I have to worry about this Crunch Pursuit Mind Games shenanigans, and I'm kind of wasting Trick Room turns. Yep, I thought he was going to Pursuit me that turn. That's why I didn't switch out. I switched out this turn, and he didn't Pursuit that turn, so I won those Mind Games this time. But Trick Room is also out. I go into Dredagon just to... I didn't have any other switch in, and so I get sacked off. Also, if there was some more rooms of Trick Room, I could actually get off another Outrage, but sadly, that's not going to happen. I go back into Reuniclus only to get up another Trick Room. At this point, all of my switch-ins to things have kind of gone away. I got off the Trick Room, and now I just need to get off damage. And I do get a crit. That crit obviously did matter. You saw how much the Psychic did before. And that is kind of unfortunate because then Aerodactyl would have killed Reuniclus. However, then at that point, I could go into Tentacruel, and then I would be able to Scald, which his team does not want to switch into at all. So, I mean, it's kind of like it doesn't matter too much. That crit really doesn't matter. It just gives the kill to Reuniclus, which is fine. And then he goes out into Infernape. I'm thinking he's just going to try and Mach Punch me here, but I'm assuming he must have misclicked or something like that because I just go for a Psychic here and I take him down. So that's another kill for Reuniclus, albeit probably an unnecessary one because as you'll see, he goes into the Mamoswine and then he Ice Shards here. So maybe he did that just to let Trick Room run out, so that way I couldn't come in with Tentacruel and Scald his Mamoswine. That's the only thing that I could think of. But at this point, I lose, essentially, because Trick Room ran out, and I cannot kill the Mamoswine with the Scolipede. Rocks were still up. I was trying to... At some point, maybe during that Trick Room, that last Trick Room, I did want to try and get Tentacruel out to be able to Rapid Spin, but then at the same time, Earthquake plus Ice Shard takes me out. So if he would have sacked Mamoswine and then left Infernape as the last thing, I possibly could have been able to win by setting up a Swords Dance with Scolipede if I could get the rocks out. But I never successfully got the rocks off my side of the field. So Scolipede never had that Focus Sash, so I couldn't get 2 hits off. Mamoswine had Ice Shards, so it didn't really matter anyway. You know, there's just so many things. But overall, this was a pretty good game. Liam played really well. I feel like I played pretty well. I don't really see any mistakes that I made in the game. You know, it's just one of those things. Both players played well, and unfortunately, we end up on the short end of the stick here. And this is our 3rd loss in a row, which is actually really concerning to me. This puts us at 4-6, I think. I want to say that we're 4-6, which is not good, and we have 1 battle left, and that is against Shoddy, which we've beaten once and lost to twice. Last season we lost pretty brutally to him, and his team is pretty scary, so it's not looking super good. I think a lot of my issues are coming from just my team itself. I'm really struggling with team building, with finding switch-ins to anything. I have a pretty slow team outside of Scolipede, and the only really reliable switch-ins I have to anything are Reuniclus and like Togekiss, if I use it defensively, which is kind of an issue if I run into any sort of mon that can deal with those two. So that's kind of the issue I'm running into with team building, is I just don't have enough defense. I have a lot of these bulky like wall breakers and like sweepers and things like that, but you know, I don't have reliable switch-ins, and I can get worn down really easily, and I am finding that out the hard way. So I think a lot of it just boils down to the team that I have. I thought it was really good, but there are definitely some flaws. Maybe there's a way for me to work around it, but I think just the style and the way that I team build and the way that I play just doesn't match the team that I have. So unfortunately, this is going to be a rough end of the season, and because of our losses and because of other people doing well, I don't have the official like situations for what could happen, but there is definitely a chance that we could be in the bottom 3 spots. 11th and 12th place in the league automatically get relegated to Division 2, and 10th place has to do a playoff match with 3rd place from Division 2 to earn that spot in Division 1. And I think from what I understand is that I am in serious danger of ending the season in 10th place. I don't know if I'm in danger of finishing lower than that, but 10th place is definitely a real possibility, and I'm not sure about below that. So I will know more possibly next week or possibly at some point in the future. A lot of the games have been behind the season. The PPL as a whole is struggling to really finish out the season, but once that does finish out, I'll be able to have an official, like, what our stance is as far as which division we're in. But it is next week is going to be very important. We really need to win, and I'm going to do my absolute best to try and do that. So I think I have rambled on enough about everything. Make sure you check out Liam and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next week. It should be about next week that I will be able to have the final battle up for you for PPL Season 4. So, thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. So until then, guys, stay sly.